I have some good news. Hello. This time on CrashTestDummyTV. G'day all. I have some good news. I have pretty much rebuilt the ignition system on this. All new apart from coils and pickups. Inside the other side cover, you've got your pickup coils, which obviously they send the signal to then go through the system to the spark plug. Didn't have to get in there, didn't want to get in there. Had a suggestion by a mechanic that I know. He seems to say this all the time, but did I check the valve adjustments? Anyway, probably need doing, but it's not going to stop a vehicle from starting. Now with Viragos there can be an intermittent firing problem on one cylinder. I've had this the whole time. Now when I bought this bike, it had BP6ES spark plugs in it, so I've just kept that all the time. Down at Bike Mart yesterday, and Brian, as he does, he's quite efficient this way. He checks in the book for the model, the year, the you know, all that sort of thing. They were different. The plugs that I've been running in this the whole time were non-resisted plugs. The plugs I needed were resisted plugs. So it kind of makes sense that I had to hold this out and away from the plug to make it arc, to actually make that cylinder fire. All the resistances upset the amount of spark and the strength of the spark, I believe. I'm no expert. But yeah, I've got new plugs. I've got new end caps, NGK. They do make them for these. Well, they do make them generic for a lot of vehicles, but whatever. New leads. Now I have used AUG 8, I think it is. Yeah, I think it's 8 AUG. I've had an assurance that it's not going to jump out from that shielding, so it looks pretty. I think I've mentioned that in another video anyway. Coils Xv1100 early model. I'll hopefully have the year on the screen for you. It's a modification that Paul at Eastern Motorcycle Wreckers used to make on his race bikes, because they deliver a cleaner and a bigger spark. Yeah, and they're still both Yamaha, so you know, bolt on. They're pretty much the same size, but you may have to grind the rear mounting nib. It's got a hole in it to mount it to the plate that it'll come with if you do get that plate. But I only had to grind one side down, just to fit in, to bend down the tag to get this end to bolt on, and the other end I couldn't get it to bolt on the right angle. You might, I couldn't, but in the end I zip tied it to it, and in the end I've got all back on as it should be standard. I've had to use a large washer here because my bit's cracked underneath, and I've got this aluminium tape that I've got, really sticky stuff. My brother used it on race tyres, hold down the lead weights. I just wrapped around the top sensor just to make it look a bit prettier. So, crunch. What I am going to do, oh shit, I've been riding around like that. I want to swap these bolts over for chrome ones. I think they're ugly, and I think that Virago should be ashamed of themselves. Anyway, so I've got to find something like that. Cool, so that's all working. Ignition system replaced, and immediately when I first started it, well, okay, it doesn't cough and splutter, but it idled like a kitten. How's that? I like a lower idle. About there. Yeah, about there. As long as it doesn't stall at the lights. But look at that, it's running beautifully. I may not have a video to add into this video as far as me riding it, but I took it around the block and it rides beautifully. So I'm going I'm going to see if I can fast track this and get it all done and ready for the toy run, because that's very soon. Very soon. It's very soon. Oh, just happen to have a pamphlet in my hand. Hope to see you there, or see you in your video at one around somewhere in the world. Groovy. Thanks for watching all. Hope your project, your bike, your little toy, even your big toy, is behaving itself. And ride safe out there. Speak to you soon. Bye.